Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas in a few days. I have the distinct honor and privilege and pleasure to introduce to you a man that really left a tremendous legacy to our community. He's a gentleman that has been committed to Cleveland. There's no one that's more passionate about this community, this city, and there's nobody more compassionate. He's a man of tremendous integrity. He's a man of tremendous character, tremendous commitment, and as I mentioned earlier, compassion. His goal 16 years ago was just to restore Cleveland to greatness and make it a place where all could live, work, and play. And he said he'll be judged by if we make others an opportunity that all have been lifted up, and he cares about everybody. I have not had the pleasure of working with somebody that I think is really been more committed in such a wonderful way. So, Mayor, I really want to thank you for what you did, not only for the city, but what you did for our whole region and our whole community. You have a sense of dignity and a sense of kindness and a sense of respect to all, and that is something that I think is important. And I also think that the mayor always finds a way to figure out what binds us and what not divides us. And so tonight, having this portrait revealed, and also I think it's important that some of us in the business community want to make sure that we keep his legacy and we share it to others. As the mayor has often said, he thinks that public service is an honorable profession, and nobody has been more honorable than Frank Jackson. So please help me welcome the longest serving mayor, one of the finest serving mayors, Mayor Frank Jackson.
Good evening. And Jada Rose, how you doing, girl? That's my great-granddaughter. I have a portrait of my daughter and grandson. As you know, they're not with us, but it's appropriate that they're here with us today. I want to thank all of you, whether you're city employees, just residents of the community, supporters, whether you're business supporters, financial supporters, or whoever you are, all of you, for working with me over the past 16 years. I always tell people that one of the things that a leader has to learn is when to get out the way. And just because you sit in the seat don't mean you know everything. And what it means is that if you want to get something done, you have to know when to get out the way so that you don't be in the way. And with that, sometimes you have to be second and third fiddle. But as a result of that, the right people being in the lead at any given time will have a better insurance of a better outcome. And for the city in general, but for people in particular. So when it came time for me to think about a portrait after I decided I wasn't running again, I was, contemplating what would it be. And, I spent a lot of time in a rare room, and everybody is either sitting by a desk or a chair, and it looks mayoral, and it's very traditional, but I wanted something different. And to give you a little preview of the context of the portrait that we'll be unveiling, I wanted something that would really speak to not just me, but to all of those people who made it possible for me not only to be mayor, but to accomplish the things that I was able to accomplish, which means it's just more than me. And so I wanted everyone to understand that Mayor Jackson comes from a community. And it's that community that I brought to the councilmen to council president, and to the position of mayor. And I've always attempted to represent that community in the context of representing the entire city of Cleveland. So we look for someone who could capture that, and Rob became the person. He was a person who took a lot of pictures of me, the community, and all of this, and he came up with this concept. I ran it past my wife a few times. She, she did a little editing to it, and then we came up with this final product, and that's what you'll see tonight. So I want to introduce to you the painter, the artist who did the portrait, Rob.
I just want to say that I don't paint portraits of people first fiddle. You are definitely not second or third fiddle in this portrait. You're like the only fiddle. So I'm a portrait painter. I'm an artist who specializes in painting portraits. I've painted congressmen and bank presidents and college presidents, but I have never painted a four-term mayor. I don't think anybody has. So it was a great honor. I'm very honored to have been chosen. Thank you. But I'm even more honored that I was given access to this man. Let me just say that painting a portrait is an intimate process. You know, our lives are written on our face. Every decision that we've ever made, every action that we've taken, every turn in our lives is shown on your face. And but it takes time to see that. And I was given the rare opportunity to have time with the mayor. Normally what happens is, I have an hour or two and I take some pictures of a person. Successful people are always very busy. And I do what I can with the time that I'm given. But the mayor and his staff gave me that gift of time, and I hope with that time I've expressed the mayor in paint as well as it should be expressed. Time, not only a couple of hours for the very first meeting where I was able to sit with this man, and yes, in discussions I'm always looking at the face and I'm looking at lines and I'm looking at the curves of things and the colors, but we had a wonderful discussion about everything from Cleveland history to psychology to economics. That was the first session. Next time I hop in the car, driving all around Cleveland, and I got to see not just the person, but the mayor says, well, he's from Central, he's from the neighborhood, he's from the community. Well, I got to drive through the community with him, and there was a story a story about that corner over his entire lifetime. Neighborhood after neighborhood, just witnessing his face as those memories came to him. And at the same time, seeing, he would hop out from time to time on where this group, this area where there are fountains and parks for kids, and then to watch the community sort of wrap around him as he stepped out. So those were all visual images that I captured in my brain and then said, okay, how do I translate this to canvas? And I know I'm talking too long, but I really enjoyed this whole process, as I think everybody did. So in the end, we came up with a number of different images from which to choose. But you will see, and I know I'm teasing here a little bit, you will see in the foreground, here is the man in the community. In the middle ground is what that neighborhood, that central neighborhood, is like. And then in the distance, from the vantage point of the man and the neighborhood, is the downtown. And so I guess what I'm really saying is I hope you will see that there is this lifetime of achievement and public service that begins here and ends, well, who knows where it'll end. But anyway, I'm humbled to have been chosen. Thank you very much. And this is enough of a teaser. I'm sure the suspense, you've been here not to listen to me, but to see a portrait. So thank you very much.
So what we'll do is myself and my family are going to go up and do the unveiling. They tell me it will be on these screens so you can actually see it. And then there's really a lot of people here, and we still have this COVID thing. So, but we'll then be able to take maybe like 10 people. Those who want to see it close up, about 10 or so people at a time can go up and rotate in and out. But first, me and my family, we're going to go upstairs, and then I'll do the unveiling. You'll see it on the screen, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right. Are you ready? You ready, Eddie? Tell me what to do. You know you like doing that. Count it down, Eddie. Huh? Pull it down? Okay, all right. How the hell am I get it?
Yeah, you're pretty tall. Okay. There we go.
All right.
I like that. That's what it's supposed to be.
Well, you see how it you got what Browder Field in there. You got Burden.
So Mayor and Rob, if you want to talk about the photo a little bit, you teased it up. If you can explain a little bit the components of it, that would be good.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
Well, let's see. Took a long time to paint. It's a big picture. But one of the things that I was describing when we were downstairs is going foreground to background. And the idea is that the life of this public servant began in Central, began in the neighborhood, with the people, and grew up there. And just as they're sitting out there looking at the field, and by the way, the field, as we were driving around, I didn't know, but this Dwayne Browder Field was put in at the point that the mayor was council president, correct?
Well, started, but in mayor, and so we it was done over a period of time. It was done in phases, right? And
then we have beyond that the buildings that I think, this was some of the editing that happened that I think that was appropriate. Originally, I was going to put in some of the new construction in the neighborhoods that was going on, but I think it was more appropriate that, I didn't choose this. I thought it was the most excellent idea is to have some of the buildings that have been there through, really through the mayor's lifetime.
well, and as my wife said, is Brick City, right? That's what they called it, Brick City, the public housing. And so Lonnie Burden Recreation Center was named after Lonnie Burden, who was former councilman, and Dwayne Browder, who was very instrumental in helping to develop programs around kids. And one of the things that he helped develop was organized sports programs at the Lonnie Burden Center. So it's not just me, it's really a community. So it's coming out of Central, and then in the background you have this symbolic thing of a city, which is its downtown.
And I thought it was appropriate too that, I'm sure you've all seen many different views of the skyline and downtown, but this is specific to the neighborhood. This is the view that you would see, let's say, from around 26th Street, but in the central neighborhood looking to downtown. And that's why you see this separation, and then the mayor against that. So that's why I say, artistically speaking, you know, you've got the neighborhood in the foreground, in the middle ground, and then everything else in the background. So there is an entire path of lifetime of achievement.
Well, and as you notice, there are kids. You know, the kids.
Yep.
Well, Herm, you still the manager over there?
No, I actually will for another week.
For another week?
Yeah, another week.
Okay. Okay.
Now I should also tell you a little bit about how this was painted, because that's what I do in this sort of fun. It's not only just the concept, although the concept is always, or the idea of the portrait is always the best and first thing that has to be determined. But then, you know, the implementation, the painting of it. This is an oil painting, and it's done in the tradition of you know, the old masters like Rembrandt or Vermeer, where it's built up in layers over layers over layers. There probably are at least 6 layers of paint over this, which is why you see the luminosity and the color and the brilliance. And it's all about the oil painting process.
Well, Eddie, since you helped pick it, what do you say? You okay? Excellent. Okay. All right. There you go.
So the most important thing is that the mayor's family, or actually any subject that I paint, it's not the subject, it's the wife. You know, if she approves, then so now I feel good.
So let me ask you, because I really did try to point out that I come out of Central, and Central is where I come out of, and then there's children, and then there's the backdrop of a city. So how do y'all like it?
I love it.
Yeah? Okay.
You like the colors? Yeah, I love the vibrancy.
Now, what about it? You see the other pictures are, and these were done, and the artist will tell you, these were done in the time when this was the appropriate thing to do. Where mayors either were sitting, standing behind a desk or something like that. This is, I believe, the first one that we have where I'm prominent in it, but it's not all about me. It's about the community.
Yeah.
I think it's a reflection of what you committed to your whole time, isn't it?
Right. That's right. Service. Jada Rose, do you like it? Huh? Oh, boy.
Text it to her.
No, she just took a picture and she's sharing it with everybody.
She's sharing. All right, well, we'll let other people come up, and again, I thank you. Eddie, you want to go back downstairs? You want to go back downstairs? You want to see how clean my office is?